All right, let's talk about your past. We're going to take a deep dive into the architecture of your memory. But I have to warn you, the blueprints, they're not what you think they are. Not even close.
Yeah, that's right. You probably think your past is locked away somewhere safe, like a perfect, pristine record of your life. But the truth? Your brain isn't a library. It's more like a compromised crime scene. And every single time you remember something, you're not just playing back a recording. Oh no, you're actually altering the evidence.
So there's this official term for it in neuroscience. It's called memory consolidation. It's the whole process of taking a fragile, brand new memory and making it permanent. But let's stick with our heist metaphor because it's way more accurate. Think of it like this. It's the moment an original document gets swiped, subtly rewritten, and then slipped back into place with a forgery. A forgery that feels so real, it completely fools you.
Okay, so where does a heist like this even begin? Let's go to the scene of the crime, the place where the evidence is first stashed away.
The evidence itself, well, that's called an engram. And it's not like one little file in one spot. Nope. It's a whole glowing network of neurons that all lit up together during an experience. There's this famous saying in neuroscience from Donald Hebb that just nails it. Neurons that fire together, wire together. That connection is the physical footprint of your memory.
And this is where the setup for the heist really begins. The initial evidence, that super active but really unstable engram, it gets stored in the short-term high-security vault called the hippocampus. But right away, almost at the same time, a backup copy gets sent to a long-term storage facility, the medial prefrontal cortex. But, and this is the twist, this backup copy starts out as a silent engram. It's like a ghost file. The connections are so weak you can't even access it. It's just sitting there, waiting.
Now, moving the goods from the short-term vault to the long-term warehouse, that doesn't just happen instantly. It's a covert operation, and it happens while you're completely out of it, while you're asleep. Welcome to the night shift. Okay, so the operation goes down in three main stages. First, replay. Your brain zips through the day's events, like a fast-forwarded highlight reel. Then, transfer. These little electrical bursts, they're called sharp-wave ripples, they act like armored trucks, shipping all that info from the hippocampus over the cortex. But here's the thing, it's not a perfect copy. That's step 3, pruning. A cleanup crew comes in and starts snipping away at the less important details. You know, like the color of some stranger's shoes. This isn't really about forgetting, it's about efficiency. The brain only keeps and strengthens the connections that are going to help you survive.
So get this. On day 1, you can only access that memory through the hippocampus. But over the next couple of weeks, that silent ghost file in the MPFC starts to mature. Its connections get stronger and stronger. And by about day 28, boom, it's taken over. It's the primary source. The original evidence back in the hippocampus, it starts to fade. It becomes obsolete. The vault has officially been emptied, and the new forged memory is in charge. And that whole process, that rewriting, that editing, that's what makes the entire system vulnerable. It's not read-only, it's hackable. So, we've established the system is designed to edit itself, right? It's part of the plan. But what if someone else could get in on the action? What if you could plant completely fake evidence at the scene of the crime?
This is where the work of a pioneering researcher, Elizabeth Loftus, comes in. She's the one who really showed the world just how vulnerable our memories are. She proved, pretty definitively, that your past can be hacked with something as simple as a powerful suggestion, an idea that just slips right past your defenses, totally undetected.
Here's one of her most famous experiments, the Lost in the Mall study. The setup was pretty clever. Researchers would sit down with a subject and tell them 4 stories from their childhood, supposedly gathered from a relative. Now, 3 of those stories were real, but one of them, a complete and total fabrication. It was this detailed account of getting lost in a shopping mall around age 5, crying, and eventually being rescued by a kind elderly person.
And at first, most people were like, no, I don't remember that. But the researchers just asked them to keep thinking about it for a couple of weeks. And what happened next was, well, it was shocking. A full quarter of the participants came to believe that this fake story was totally true. And not only that, they started adding their own rich, vivid details, like remembering the flannel shirt the rescuer was wearing or the intense panic they felt, all for an event that never ever happened.
So how is that even possible? How can a memory for something that never happened feel so completely 100% real?
Well, the mechanism has a name, retroactive interference. That false story, that suggestion, it acts just like a Trojan horse. See, your brain might not have a specific memory of being lost, but it has all the building blocks. It has general or schematic knowledge of what a mall is like, what it feels like to be scared, what crying is. And it just blends the fake suggestion with those real generic pieces until the lines get completely blurred. Eventually, your brain forgets where the information even came from, that a researcher told you, and it physically wires a brand new, false pseudo-memory that feels just as real as any other memory you have.
Okay, so at this point, this whole system sounds like a massive design flaw, right? It's leaky, it's corruptible, but it turns out there's a motive behind the whole heist. It's time for the final reveal. Let's find out why our brains are built this way.
I mean, think about it. If memory is so critical for our survival, why on earth wouldn't evolution build it to be a perfect, rock-solid, unchangeable record? Why create a system that's so easy to tamper with, both by our own brains and from the outside? Because we've been looking at memory all wrong. Its main job isn't to be a perfect archive of the past. Its real job is to be a dynamic, predictive simulator for the future.
Seriously, think about it. If you were locked into a rigid, unchangeable past, you couldn't adapt, you couldn't learn. By constantly rewriting and editing your memories, you're able to absorb new information, update your understanding of the world, and actually learn from your mistakes. Your brain is throwing out the useless, brittle details to make your past a more efficient tool for making better decisions tomorrow. So yeah, you're a biological forgery, because you're a work in progress. That's not a bug, it's a feature.
So the heist is never really over. The evidence of your life is constantly being altered, updated, and forged. And that is exactly how you survive. Which leaves us with one final, kind of unsettling question, doesn't it? If every memory you hold dear is just the latest, updated forgery, where's the original? Does it even exist anymore?